Hi, this is another edition of Conversations with the Clergy, and it's clergies, I guess. You got both of us. You don't have both of us for this. So we have a very special topic we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Triduum. The Triduum is a very special, separate season of the church year, short 3-day season of the church year that's between Lent and Easter. It's Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday with Easter Vigil. So Lent is over. Thursday morning, Lent is over. But that doesn't mean, Father Mark, you can give up your Lenten practices or what you're fasting for Lent, right?
Still no chocolate.
Still no chocolates. We move from Lent to Triduum. It means it's 3 days. 3 days. Once I said Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday. It begins with Holy Thursday. Now, Holy Thursday, there's no Mass on Holy Thursday. The only Mass it can be that evening, the Mass of the Lord's Supper. Good Friday is the only day of the year there's no Mass, right, Father Mark?
Yeah.
It's no Mass.
Just a service.
Just a service. So, yeah, when people talk about the Catholics do service, we do a service once a year, right? On Good Friday. And something's going to be very different in the church. The church, I call it the church has gone dark. The church goes into repose. Because, and we'll discuss what's going to happen here, especially after the Holy Thursday Mass. Things really look kind of bleak. It's going to look very bleak and dour in the church. The Holy Thursday Mass, we're going to sing the Gloria. That's in the evening at 7 p.m. We get to hear the Gloria again. Because the Holy Thursday Mass is about two things: the institution of the Eucharist and the institution of the priesthood. So we're going to celebrate. We'll sing the Gloria again, and usually there's a foot washing because the readings are of John's Gospel from the Last Supper. We watch Jesus washed the feet of the disciples. Won't see that this year because of COVID, but usually their feet washed. And that mass ends with a beautiful procession where the Eucharist is taken out of the church, right? Taken out of the church to a separate place in the church where there's time for adoration, prayerful adoration till 10 o'clock. And at that point, the Eucharist is removed to another location, and the church is then shut down. And we move to Good Friday.
So we enter into the garden, the Mount of Olives, right? So when he begins the real passion. Yeah. So now he's praying and praying and praying, and the trial eventually comes in the trial. That's why we always have the Stations of the Cross to recall that trial, and that Via Dolorosa, his walk on the way to Calvary. And I would like to share with you just one of my good lessons learned, I think, in my Lenten journeys, my Triduum journey. This is before I went into the seminary, and was going to the chapel for adoration at St. Augustine's, as I always did in the morning before I went to work. I go and I open up the doors of the chapel, and they were not open. I said to myself, what's going on? Why would the church be closed? I shook the door a couple times. And then it just occurred to me, well, you shook the doors because Jesus is inaccessible. He is now been entombed, and I can't get to him. We can't get to him. So the rest of that day, instead of spending that time in adoration, it gave me an opportunity to spend time thinking about what would life be like if Jesus had not come, if Jesus was not accessible. And I think that's the mindset that we need to have on Good Friday is this what would life be without Jesus? And that brings the great glory of the Easter Vigil, along with Easter Sunday when he rises from the dead, because it looked so bleak, as we said earlier. But so just I think a good thought.
It's a good thought. It's a good way for you to experience the desolation of Good Friday. If you come into the church on Good Friday or Holy Saturday morning, you'll notice all the candles are gone. There's no candles in the church. The sanctuary light will be out. The sanctuary will be empty. The only time of the year that happens. And on Good Friday night, we'll read the Passion again. We'll have a chance to venerate the cross. No touching or kissing the cross this year because of COVID, but you can venerate the cross, and then we'll receive communion. The communion that was consecrated the previous night, on Holy Thursday, you'll receive that night. Then we enter and leave in silence. We enter and leave the church in silence. Then we return for Holy Saturday, the most beautiful night of the year. We'll begin the night. We'll have the church. It has to start in the darkness. So that starts at 8 p.m. That's to start in the darkness, and we begin by lighting the Paschal flame. We'll light a flame. We'll light the new Easter candle from the flame, and then we'll process it into the church. We'll sing the beautiful song, the Exultet. Rejoice. It's a beautiful song. We sing the Exultet. Then we'll hear multiple readings, extra readings, and my favorite homily of the year, and we'll have multiple readings. Then in most years, we'll baptize new adults who will come preparing for the church. No baptisms this year, Father, but we have 3 people who are going to be entering the church, and they'll be confirmed at night, and then then the Mass proceeds as usual. So that's a glorious night.
We celebrate the resurrection.
Indeed.
He is risen.
He's risen indeed.
He is risen indeed.
Indeed. So that is where we are. So that's where we're coming. We're coming up to the Triduum. If there's a most sacred time of the church.
It's the capstone of the entire year.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
The capstone of this most holiest of weeks.
Yeah. And it is. And most beautiful liturgies, beautiful ceremonies. I know we're still got COVID. We're coming out of COVID. But if you're going to come, now's the time to come.
And there's lots to celebrate, right? The removal of the ropes.
The ropes will be down.
We're a little bit more back towards normal.
Yeah.
So there's some Easter glory that's coming there.
And we got a few more surprises.
And we have a few more surprises.
Ready for Easter. So.
All right. Okay.
All right. So we'll see you then. Jesus Christ is risen.
He is risen indeed.
Amen.